Hello and welcome to the Foxy Bros podcast. I am your host, Foxy, and this is the podcast where we talk about topics and see where the conversation takes us. Now, today I am today, or should I say tonight, I am joined by two returns. One from Amy, who's returning.
Yeah.
We haven't seen her since
Hello.
episode 5.
And
And
it's been that long.
yeah,
Oh, my dog. Come
I know. And
hello, Houdini.
we're also being joined by the returning Crafty Like a Fox, Lorraine, with special appearance by Houdini, her dog.
Houdini, please don't press buttons.
Houdini is freaking adorable. I love him.
Professional.
Yeah.
So professional. Oh yeah, we're totes professional.
Oh, hell yeah.
No, but
And Stitch.
obviously it is great to actually get you back on. And I thought this would be the best opportunity to do it because we have gotten very interested in a show and our book called The Umbrella Academy. And we just wanted to talk about it.
I love it. I love it so much.
So,
I'm
like,
very excited.
the ground rules at the start. So, now for people listening at home, there will be spoilers for the series on Netflix. And for those that haven't read the book, there will be very minimal spoilers. But we will give you a warning before we talk about them. So,
The warning will go like this.
yeah, I'll just
Spoiler.
I'll just give Jonathan more editing work.
Coco. Look up here. Do you watch the Three Amigos? Look up here.
So, but know that
I was drinking.
you have been warned.
I'm sorry.
You have been warned.
Yeah.
And yes, so Umbrella Academy is a series that was created by would you like to explain, Amy? Like
I'll let
you've
Amy
been
go first.
Jared Way. Okay, right.
Jared Way.
My Chemical Romance frontman Jared Way created a comic book back in 2000, and I can't remember the dates, but I'm not a researcher on podcasts, as I like to wing it. So he came up with a comic idea, right? Spoke to a friend, which is Gabrielle Ba, B-A, little thing on it, to actually to illustrate the actual comic book. There are currently 3 books in the series. Hopefully by the end of quarantine we will have a 4th, because he has been saying, like, the two of them have been saying that they wanted to kind of get back into it. They do have the ideas for the 4th one. However, My Chemical Romance is hopefully, fingers crossed, still going to be back touring. Obviously with COVID that all got pushed aside, which is kind of lucky for us nerds if we want to get a comic book out, so fingers crossed.
And I mean,
it was picked up by Netflix.
Slaves to our inspiration anyway, so
exactly, yes. And Netflix picked up the series last year.
Yeah.
Yes, last year.
Right, so 2018 we had series 1, then we had a long ass wait.
Mm-hmm.
No, 2019. Oh my god, what year is it?
I'm like, girl.
Yeah, I was like, holy shit, I missed a year. So started anyway, had last season, or the first season was done 2019, second season binged in 2020.
I mean, you're not wrong. They did pick it up technically in 2018, but
yes,
filming
it wasn't
and
released.
production,
Yeah,
it wasn't
released
at least in 2019. So
now, here's the kicker, right, on all this, right? It has not yet been renewed for season 3. Right?
Not yet.
It will get renewed. We know it will, right? But obviously with the situation as the fact that there is still a global pandemic going on at the moment as we record, who knows what happens tomorrow? It might just disappear. Fingers crossed.
You see, that could have been taken up wrong. Umbrella Academy might just disappear. Fingers crossed.
No, COVID.
They fucked with the timeline.
Yes.
This is what they did to while it hasn't yet been renewed, there's no reason that it wouldn't be at this point. It is going to be. The good news is with it, though, is that they actually record in Canada. They don't record in the US, they record in Canada. So when it does get renewed, hopefully they can all just ship them up across the border, get a few
And
cloth
Canada's cases
moments.
are, quite low, so it's over.
Yeah, they're not doing bad. They're doing good. So fingers crossed we will have our series 3 by end of 21, start of 22. Fingers crossed.
Hopefully.
But yeah,
Hopefully.
hopefully.
So, like, basically, with the series, it is for anyone listening at home. It's basically superheroes that aren't the best at being superheroes. If that's a fair statement, they've
I think
been trained from a young age by a rich and
Philanthropist.
rich and famous philanthropist. Yes, thank you.
explorer.
Explorer, whichever you want.
Oh, he has a
Miscellaneous
few.
there.
He has a few titles. He has a few titles. The monocle.
Sir
I
Reginald.
love the monocle. Sir
Lad.
Reginald Hogleyd.
I fucking
My
want to
dad
get a
has
monocle.
decided this is the point where he wants to play with me.
Yes.
It's like having Tina.
Yeah.
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 Jonathan's dog Tina is the exact same. She's also a little Jack Russell as well. as soon as we start getting recording, that's when she's like, "Dude, what are you doing now? It's time to play with me now."
play.
Yeah.
Let's play.
Let's
But
play games.
the thing I would say, it's not that they're bad at being superheroes. They're just bad at being a team.
Yes.
There's
Yeah.
an awful lot of me, myself, and I's in this group, which is not always a bad thing in certain aspects.
In
Like-
certain aspects, but
They're their own worst enemies.
Exactly.
yes,
It
exactly.
it backfires more often on them than anything else.
Yes.
Mm.
And
But
how
the
many
other
is-
thing
there
that we
is
should
7.
establish in this is there are 7 as part of 43.
Yes.
So that's like really important.
Yes. Very important.
It's very particular as well, like 43. And we only know 7.
Well, they were the only 7 that he could buy or adopt.
That literally is what he did.
Essentially.
That's
do you
what
How
he
much
does.
you want for it?
I don't know what you want for it. Like, he literally buys these things. Like, these things.
Well, I
It's
mean,
terrible to say. He bought
Jesus.
these things that just came
like,
out of
can
these
we
women.
really
Like,
call
ugh.
them people?
Yeah, I guess.
I mean,
Well,
They're people.
well, I mean,
Ish.
They're hybrids.
well, I mean, okay, like, it'll,
Can assume. We'll assume. We know, but we
I
assume.
think Professor X is looking for them as well.
Mm,
I'd love to see that crossover.
The Mutant Academy.
Yeah.
Jesus.
excellent.
This is Xavier's school for the gift. Oh my god, what the hell are you doing? You can't bring drugs into the school. Get out, Claus, you're expelled. You gotta get my umbrella on.
Your problem is you don't know how to relax.
Your problem is you relax too much.
Easily my favorite character
Maybe
in the
if you
whole
took
series.
drugs more often, you could walk with me spiritually.
I think Claus is a favorite for a lot of people, and I think that's a lot to do though with Robert Sheehan though as well.
Yes.
Robert Sheehan is, I don't know how. I honestly don't know how it is. It's just he's like, when you watch a TV show with Robert Sheehan in it, you're like, oh, it's Robert Sheehan, but then all of a sudden you're like, no, that's Nathan from Misfits. Like he does actually become his character.
He is a Robert Downey Jr. that it's Robert Downey Jr., but that's Sherlock and that's Tony Stark.
Yes.
And that he's able to get into characters but still put himself into them.
Yes.
Yes.
And I remember he went from like doing Misfits, where he had a very similar power actually to what he has now.
Yeah.
To being Darren from Love Hate.
Oh
And
my
it,
God,
like,
yes.
but like, it's really funny because when you're looking at it, you're like, oh, that's the dude from Misfits. Like this is meant to be a serious drama. And then you watch the first episode in it and you're just like, oh my God, I've never wanted to bang a drug dealer more in my entire life. Like, then I watch this and it's like, oh my God. Honest to God, I was like, oh, I'd give anything to be Rutenegger right now. I would give anything to be her right now.
But like, it's literally, you go from that then to Simon in Shadowhunters in the movie, where he's this dorky fucking soon-to-be vampire, and he's a completely different character.
He's like, he's one of the, like, you're dead on when you say he's a Robert Downey Jr. because even like, hopefully he doesn't have the same kind of career path that Robert had, but like, well, Robert and Robert, but oh shit, but like he just does it so well. But it's like when you're like, when I'm watching the TV show, and like when you're like, because normally when you're watching an adaptation of anything, you're always going to be like, a lot of stuff is going to be changed and stuff like that. This is the one instance that, this isn't a spoiler, but this is like the one instance when you have a character from a comic and you're watching a character on TV show where you're like, this is it.
Yeah.
And it works so well. He does it so well. Yes.
Yeah. But back to you, Foxy.
Next question.
Yeah. No, but very enjoyable. Like, I loved it. Like, I fell in love with the series. I kept finding myself like, I need to know. Like, it got to the point that I was like, I'm like nearly 10 episodes in of the first series, and I'm just like, I don't know if I like it, but yeah, I can't stop watching it.
Yeah.
So it's like like, it's an awkward thing where like, you don't know straight away how much you actually are engrossed in it until like you basically finish the series and like, I want more. Give me more.
It's really funny though as well. I put off watching the series. It was on net, like it went on Netflix, and it was like recommended for you, and I'm like,
yes.
I don't care. I was like, I'm not watching another bloody. I was at that point, I'd had my fill of comic book. I was like, I'm still not emotionally stable after Avengers Endgame, so I'm like, I'm not ready to take on another.
That's a whole other topic.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm not ready to put myself into another comic book. So I never bothered watching it. And then it was like, oh, series 2 is coming up on Friday. He's so cute. Hello, Houdini. And then it was like season 2 of Umbrella Academy was like dropping on the Friday, and I was like, the trailer for it looks really good, but I don't know what's going on. And plus the storyline for the
one
second
over here didn't have to do the long wait like we did.
Well, it gets worse. So what happened then was I watched the trailer for it, and I was like, oh shit, I love stuff that's set in this time period as well. I loved shit that's set in the 60s because the soundtracks are always going to be excellent. And I watched the trailer and I was like, fuck it, I'll watch an episode or 2 of the first series and I'll see what I think of it. And then the next thing I knew, it was 1:30 in the morning, and I was like, right, I only have to wait until Friday. This is fine. I only have to wait until Friday. This is fine. And then I went online and I was like, right, I need to buy the comics now, because I never read the comic either. So I ended up buying the first and second deluxe edition of the comic books off the book depository. And I've now pre-ordered. I've pre-ordered now the third book, which again is the deluxe edition, which they're really pretty. They're leather bound hardback. They're so fucking pretty. And I was like, right, but I'm not going to read the third comic book until I've seen the third series, because they're not the same. There's enough difference that I'm watching. It's as if I'm watching a different, like, it's not even like, it is the same thing. It's
like
an
alternate universe, basically.
Yeah, it's like I'm watching continued stories.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So with the comic books, you have there's 5 comics per
season
story. Yeah, right. So there's 5 comics per season. They're 22 pages long. There's 6 chapters each, and I flew through them. But when I was reading them, I was like, right, I'm not reading the same thing that I've watched. So there's a difference in it, but it's a good thing, because it is, you're like,
but it's not
shit.
like a different world, it's just
Exactly.
a different aspect, a different view.
Yeah, it's like Deadpool volumes 1 to 10 are the series, and then the comics are like 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Like it is a continuation type thing. If you get me. So it's like, you're watching something that's in the same universe. You're watching the story that you are reading, but there is stuff that will it's like I haven't seen this in the series, so you get to enjoy it all over
like
again.
a great
That's what it
example is Lila is not in the comics at all, but
Yes.
she's definitely part of that universe.
Completely. And I cannot. Oh, right. Do you think she's one of the Sparrow? Do you think she's one of the Sparrow Academy?
I think no, because she jumped.
I think she jumped back.
Mm,
Well, actually, no. Well, she would have had to go forward. They were in the 60s,
Yeah.
so I think she went forward. But I think she's too much in the know now.
oh no,
So-
I think she's going to be a major part of the third season.
Yes.
But I don't think she's going to be in the Sparrow Academy. I think obviously the Sparrow Academy is going to be established by the kid who Vanya was like, oops,
Harlow.
sorry, take
Yeah,
my power
Harlan,
vomit.
I mean, like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. This thing is, she's my least favorite character. And I think it's because it's Ellen Page that plays her. Because I liked Ellen Page when I first saw her in Juno. I thought she was brilliant. I loved her so much. And then she played the exact same character in every single thing afterwards. And then I was like, you're not playing a character, you're literally just playing yourself. And it draws me out of her, which is really upsetting. Because she should have
Warrior
been...
Nun.
Which?
Warrior Nun.
Warrior Nun?
Yes, just watch it.
Okay.
You'll thank me.
Okay. I'll take your word for it. But like, I think it's weird because it's like she's like the whole point of Vanya is she is the bomb, right?
Yeah.
And it's very in both series. She's the bomb,
Figuratively and literally.
right?
Yeah.
And you're kind of like, okay, so she her character development is going to be the most important thing that we're going to watch in this, because she's gone from being I'm not special, I don't have any powers, to like it's like
two sides of that spectrum, like
right,
extreme,
and it's like
sides.
you and the whole point is like you want to see this build, and you want to see what makes her go from meek quiet violin like to the fucking end of the world, like to go to the apocalypse. Whereas anytime she was on the screen, I'm kind of like, oh, that's her again. Okay, right.
I found that with
Face boy back yet. I'm like,
I found that with
Luther.
her, with Vanya, I found her so irritating in the first series.
yes,
Like, just like she irritated the fuck out of me, because I knew something was up, but I didn't know what.
because she's a little moan. You're kind of like, no one
Yeah.
gives a shit.
Okay,
we all have daddy
I'm
issues.
going to actually be on Vanya's side for this as a character.
My devil's advocate.
I'll be devil's advocate on this. As a character, Vanya was written that way because she was easily manipulated, and it's purely because of how she was raised.
Yes.
So I think if Ellen Page had actually played her in any other way, it would have been unrealistic. She was told she wasn't allowed to be part of anything. She wasn't special. She'd been put on antidepressants that suppressed her emotions entirely. So she had no emotional range because of the meds she were on. And those meds are slow acting.
Yeah,
so
actually,
they stay in your system for a long time. It doesn't just switch off. So the fact that her powers and her emotions only started to trickle back in to the point where it was just then all of a sudden a big burst really made a lot of sense, because the meds had been wearing off and she was bombarded with everything at the end. Literally bombarded.
She was experiencing all these emotions all at once and just could not handle it. Like, didn't know how to
She
process
literally
it.
went from being completely alone, being a failure in her violin, in her orchestra group, not having any support from her family. Her father had died, but it didn't really make any difference because her family had ostracized her because she spoke out with the book. Then she finds someone who starts coming on to her, is showing interest.
Yeah, shows an interest.
Shows support to her, is quirky and funny. Then she gets her place as first chair. Like, what the fuck? Then her family starts reaching out to her. Alison is making an effort with her. Well, this is great. My family are back with me now. But now my family are betraying me once again, and Dad isn't even here to like start this. And now I found out that my boyfriend is a psycho fucking killer. Oh my God, I killed my sister. Ah, I'm trying to talk to my family about this and need support. My brother just tried to kill me. Fuck this shit, I'm out. That is
Like-
literally Vanya's journey.
Yeah.
Which
No,
I loved, like, I do enjoy the journey. Like, I do, like, as I said, like, I enjoy the journey. I just think it's Ellen Page I don't like. And I think
Like-
that's what it is. It's like, that's the thing is, it is, like, it's, I think when you, like, I'm, like, I wouldn't say I'm picky with, like, actors and actresses and stuff like that. Like, normally I'm not watching something because, oh, I'm going to watch something because, like, a certain actor is in it, sort of thing. That's not how that's not how I base my opinions on stuff. I'll watch it if I think it's going to be interesting. But when I don't know what, I could not turn it off, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, Ellen Page going to be off my screen. Like, I was more interested in seeing everyone else.
Like,
yes.
I get that because everyone else was really, really interesting. Not just the fact that it was Ellen Page. Vanya was boring.
And that was the point.
But
That is the
like,
point.
At the start, like, she is, but like, it's like, it is one of those things though. But as soon as you start to see, especially like the flashbacks and stuff like that, when you actually start to see the flashbacks, you're kind of like, holy fucking shit! Like, it is actually interesting. Like, I do like when it does do the flashbacks to them all as kids, and you see just how, like, up their own arses they really were.
Oh yeah.
Like, they're actually, like, as superheroes go, they remind me of Pyro in X-Men 2.
Oh,
right?
shit, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because the arrogance is there, and you're kind of like, mate, you can manipulate fire, but you can't create it. So I don't know why you're so fucking,
you're not fucking Zuko. Get the fuck.
They all know
Like-
that they have power, but it always tends to backfire on them. They're
yeah.
like they're their own worst enemy. All of them.
Allison's a really good example of this one, right? So where her power is, like, she knows, like, there's a reason why she doesn't use it, because she cannot, like, she gets too into it in a sense. Like, she doesn't know when to stop.
Season 2 was a really good example of that.
Yes.
When she's getting the fella to, like, when she's getting the racist
the
coffee clerk to, like, pour more, and, like, you can see that the husband is like, stop it. As soon as she does, and she realizes, okay, it's happening again, and then she has to leave, sort of thing. Like, her one is, I think that's a really good indication as to, this is a person she has been trained to use this, and she has been able to use it. But then they mention it a fair bit actually in the first season. It goes, you haven't been using it, so she's out of practice in a sense. And now that Reginald is gone, he's not there to kind of
keep her
snap
in check.
her, but, like, I don't exactly. There is no one to keep them in check like this. Like, like, you can imagine if Claus if someone had constantly been in check with him, he would be much more, like, he's more capable of what he's doing.
Like, and technically Klaus is as powerful, if not more so, than Vanya.
Like, but again, he hasn't done himself any favors.
No.
Well, with regards to power wise, whereas in his own mind, he's like, I want. It's real kind of like it's kind of like a PTSD thing. I want the screaming to stop. So, sort of thing. So I'm just going to drink myself into oblivion when I don't hear it anymore. And that's, I think, is an excellent character. Like, I think it's such like an in-depth, like, it's a different side to what everyone thinks like a superhero is. Like, a superhero, they're meant to embrace their powers, and they're meant to be able to do this thing. Whereas, again, you see from the flashbacks for Claus, he's like, he didn't want this. Like, he was basically, literally, he was like terrified. Suffered serious mental abuse over this.
Like,
and then,
I will say that the Umbrella Academy's writing reminds me a lot of Marvel's writing. in the fact that all the heroes have flaws, glaring, horrible flaws.
Mm.
Like, and it's just, it humanizes them. It makes sure you're able to relate to them.
Yeah.
But with Umbrella Academy, they deal with personality flaws, but they also deal with flaws in the world.
Yeah.
Actually,
Choice is a big deal in the whole
Yeah.
series. It's the recurring theme because their choices have consequences, and most of the time it tends to be bad because for them or for whoever they're
Everyone
tied to,
else, like,
because they're all intertwined, and what happens to one tends to happen to someone else, or what doesn't happen to one will happen to one of the others. It's just it is karma
yeah.
in its purest
But there's
form.
also
like,
a lot of culpability in it as well.
Mm.
Because, sorry, my dog is trying to lick me clean, and it's just like ridiculous. Look at this, like, seriously. So the thing that I have found about Umbrella Academy is blame isn't always as clear cut as you think it is.
Mm.
So it starts off in season 1, 5 is looking for someone who owns this glass eye, they caused the apocalypse. And you go through season 1 thinking that's what's happened. Then you think it's Vanya's boyfriend, and you're like, oh my god, he's such an asshole. He's going to cause the apocalypse by making Vanya do it, because it was very clear it wasn't going to be him, it was going to be Vanya. But then you realize it wasn't him. It wasn't even Vanya. It was five. Five was the cause of the apocalypse.
Really, like, when you bear it, like, when you actually kind of like really like go under the whole thing, everything that's happening is Five's fault.
Yeah.
Really.
Yes.
So Five gets a little too big for his little shorts, right? His little adorable school uniform.
Right.
And he decides, I can travel through time, and I'm going to prove it because I want to prove that I'm better to my dad. And he goes ahead too far, and he can't go back. And that set off the entire chain of events as to what was happening. Now, the thing with Five is he's always quick to say to anyone who would listen, I'm smarter than you because I know more than you. I've been through this. This is what I do. Blah, blah, blah.
So arrogant.
Yeah, he's so arrogant, yet he's so easily tricked into doing stuff as well. So it's an amazing thing. It's like, for someone who claims to be so smart, the naive, like, because he hasn't been around people,
Yeah.
And this is really kind of like where it kind of stems down to. He hasn't been around people at all since he was 10. The people who he was around with from like whenever like he was kind of his social development are these other 6 kids who are being trained separately. They're not trained together either, and this is another thing as well that you see in the flashback. So they're all separated in this, so you can't, like, you're trying to guess what their social interactions would have been with each other, but you only see it in flashbacks, and then even then they're not overly friendly with each other either.
And there is also a power structure which he doesn't accept, because he's number 5. He's clearly better than the rest of them.
It's exactly, because he's like, I'm older, I've been around more, I know what happens, I'm going to stop this, and you have to help me.
And the age thing is a big thing with him as well, because he's constantly reminding them that he's older. And even in season 2, when he meets himself, he's like, well, actually, I'm 15 days older than you, so I get priority.
That, honest to God, I think was my favorite fucking scenes. Like, my favorite scenes in series 2 was when he's having the fucking paranoid psychosis, and he's literally, and the two of them are like, fine. And he goes, what exactly was the 5th step there? Homicidal rage. Right, okay.
I've never felt more better in my life.
So, like, the Aidan Gallagher who plays the boy who plays Five, he's so fucking good.
He's so good.
Like, you wouldn't imagine you're watching like a 15 or 16-year-old. Like, he carries
himself so well in that role.
back to culpability, coming back to responsibility for the actions. In season 2, when 5 appears, everyone is like, yeah, but 5, you just got here. So this all just started when you got here. So clearly it's all your fault. Whereas this time it's not 5's fault. This time the apocalypse isn't caused by 5. It's caused by a random series of events which leads to Vanya being arrested.
Yeah.
It wasn't actually 5's fault. But they're automatically blaming him because they're like, well, you just arrived and all this is happening, so it's your fault.
I think as well, I loved, I'm gonna move on to Diego here actually, because I love Diego. But Diego in series 1 is actually I enjoy the kind of the jokes that they kind of make about him. Like, you're just a second-rate Batman, like, or really like you're fucking like the Lone Ranger sort of thing, right? Whereas he kind of has a clear indication of what he wants to do. He does have the hero complex, and he is very much, he was number 2, and I think he's still trying to prove I could have been number 1 because I'm able to do this. Whereas the second series, where obviously he's spoiler alert, he's in a mental institution because he's trying to prevent Kennedy's assassination. My favorite thing about this is, no matter how many times they're told, yeah, we can't really alter, we're not meant to alter the past. Whereas Diego's very much like, I'm gonna, he's like, he this is a thing where it's like he would much rather save one person than have any care for what might happen on this one. And I love the fact that they're trying to figure out, like, when he goes, I'm going to save Kennedy. And I'm like, well, no, you can't save Kennedy. That's meant to happen. That has always happened. He has to go.
Yeah.
Otherwise, everything gets fucked up.
Otherwise, World War II, because he gets saved and then declares a nuclear attack on Russia.
World War III.
World War III.
Yeah, we only had the Cold War that year.
Yeah,
but I also thought it was I did love, though, the way they
tied people into the historical events.
Not even that. No, I love, though, just with Diego's character arc, the fact that he then realizes, like, okay, it's not Kennedy's assassination that ends the world. It's what happens in the FBI building.
Yeah.
And they, at that point, they're more focused on what happens in the FBI building without even realizing that it's Vanya at first.
Yeah.
They just want to get there and they want to stop whatever is happening there. And obviously then when they get there and they find out, and Diego still tries to stop the Kennedy assassination, you're kind of like, what are you doing? This has to happen. But the
fixation, I think, comes from the fact as a child he was told to just focus on the word, focus on what you're trying to do, focus on what you're saying.
Yeah, and he's taken it in such a way where it's like, okay, I'm focused. I'm going to save Psyduck. Right? I just because I looked up, and that's a real kind of like, okay, he's literally, he's just a tunnel vision person.
Yeah.
Like, he can only see what's straight ahead. He can't see anything else that's around him. But I love the little twist that they had in it when it was, you're gonna fucking kill the president and I'm gonna stop you. Why would you tell him that? Like, what the hell is wrong with you? Like,
and
you
also
fucking idiot.
Seems like Reginald didn't want the president to be killed.
Yeah.
Because even at that, he's like, why would I do something like that?
Yeah, he's like, why would I do this? You, like,
please.
But then when
you're all unhinged.
Yeah, and also as well, it's like I love the fact as well that they never think of what possible consequence there could be. How about we go and
anything being changed? So, like,
not even like that, but like, here, look, it's 1963. Come on, we go meet our dad, who has no knowledge of us for another like 18, 19 years. Let go and just fucking go straight for it. And you're kind of like,
and it's not even like a once off. Like, they tried to do this multiple times.
Yeah, and like, all you've done is you've proven to him that, all right, you were a fucking lost cause.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna get different kids. So it's like already at that point he's like, right. So whichever ones I did get, because he would have had in his head, I would imagine, where he wants to go and what kids he's going to take, sort of thing. And it's like he has a plan.
I don't know about that, because I think it was he tried to buy as many as he could.
Tried to buy as many as he could. So it is a question: is how does he manage to dodge these 7 or these 6? Even.
Yeah.
Because he has Ben.
Because Ben is still alive.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Emo Ben. Yeah. Spoiler alert. Emo
we've
Ben.
We've already established that there will be season 2 spoilers at the start of this. So
yes,
we're all good. We'll just be saying spoilers for comic book spoilers.
Okay.
Wow.
But no, the thing of it is, I think the reason why at the end he still has Ben is because he didn't see Ben.
He never met Ben because Ben was already dead.
Ben.
Yeah.
So Ben was still on his list to try and get. Because, well, it's also because they tell him, well, we're not all here, one of us died.
Yeah.
So it is another indication
is also
that
the other side of it as well is he possibly didn't get them because he knew they'd be traveling back and it's going to be a different timeline. So not to disrupt the continuity or whatever it is, you know,
space-time continuum is Back to the Future would say.
So, like, it would have been weird if there were 2 Luthers there. So, you know, how to avoid that? Have different kids.
Yeah. True.
Yeah. It is another thing though as well. So if you use the Back to the Future
logic
on it, you can go back to just be, so you can change everything in the past and you can stop the apocalypse, but then you can travel back to the moment where 5 first returned. So if you were to do that, then you would obviously have 2 versions of everyone in a sense, right?
In a sense.
However, that's
that version.
Exactly. That's what I mean. So if you go by the Back to the Future logic, there'll be 2. However, the way Umbrella Academy seems to do it, it's you would take that place, sort of thing. So you will come out here, but because everyone has gone on this journey with you, no one else will be in that alley. No one else would be in the back garden, basically the courtyard. You will all just fall down at the same time together. That's realistically what they could have done if 5 actually knew how to do it, which he doesn't know how to do.
Exactly.
And this has been pointed out. So it's been pointed out that he knows he can go through time and he knows how to get back in time. Unless he has a briefcase, he doesn't know how to get back to a specific point in time, which is why every time the briefcase gets broken, that's when he has his freak out, because he's like, he won't, but he never says it to them. He just, why did we needed that briefcase? But there's never a solid reason as to why, and I think it's because he can't get back to a specific point without the briefcase.
Yeah.
Well, no, it does get addressed at the time when Elliot was literally like, you can time travel, so why don't you just time travel again? And he doesn't answer. He just literally goes, will someone explain? And it's Diego and Luther that explain how badly he fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's
so
like he won't explain it. And I think it's because he knows there's something. I think it's because he knows there's something that he's missing about it. And he hasn't figured out. Also, I liked Elliot. Elliot got done serious dirt and he did not deserve that.
So dirty.
Also, can we just dirty. I just want to just throw a shout out here. The Swede twins or triplets were excellent.
They were siblings. They weren't triplets. They were siblings. There was definitely age gap.
Sorry. Siblings. I just thought it was hilarious when they just take over the woman's house, but they
kept the cats.
They kept the fucking cats, and they're just playing with the cat, and they're just like doing their normal thing, just like
and
throwing a knife at each other.
So fucking like chill that they're walking around in their really weird underwear. And
Oh my god, it's just so. I'm not gonna lie, right? When they did the little fucking Viking funeral for the foot, I was like,
I know,
I'm
it's like,
getting emotional.
you guys are assholes, but there be tears, fam. There be
I'm
tears.
like, oh lads, this is actually
Well,
too fucking
you wouldn't have
emotional right
had
now. I
that
was not expecting that.
unless you had the handler, who is the biggest bitch of the lot.
Hmm.
Kate
Anything
Walsh
that she's
is
in,
amazing.
I hate her. I hate
Who are
her.
you talking about? Oh, all right. Foxy watched fucking Grey's Anatomy then, clearly.
No. Because she's
Kate
in,
Walsh, though,
she
she
appears in Sons of
is
Anarchy, and
excellent.
she is a bitch.
The thing about the handler, I do have to say, is she wants to be a villain, but she does it so badly because she
She keeps
wants to
failing.
be suave,
Yes.
but she's not suave.
No.
She's just like, look at me, I'm so suave with my outfits and my long stem cigarette, and everything is
You're
going
kinda like,
according
you
to
just wanna,
my plans and my
like, you
perfect
just want
hair.
to punch her in the face. That's all you want to do. Like, every
Yeah.
time she's on screen, you just want to kind of punch her in the face.
Mhm.
And, like, there is, like, and this the thing is, but she does, like, character-wise, she knows how to play them all.
Yes.
Like, she knows exactly how to, like, push Five's button. And it's a great one as well, because, like, she knows how to push Five's buttons. Because when you think about it, she had a plan straight from the start. That's why she went and got him straight away. She had a plan. She knew what she was
going
doing,
to
sort
do.
of thing. Exactly. Like, she had all, and I do adore, I love that scene when they find out where the commission is meeting. And
Oh
she
shit,
gets
yeah.
to go back with the axe.
Mm.
And I'm just like, this is amazing. Like, it's so good. It's so well how it's done as well. It's like how he does, like, the fucking Nightcrawler jump.
Yeah. Drinking water in between
Everyone with
slaying
the
people.
honest to God, I fucking love it so much.
It's really good.
It's
It's
excellent.
really, really well
It's
done.
so well done. It's very well done. I think like, visually, like if you're going to speak visually about the actual series itself, the settings that they use, right? So the setting for the actual Umbrella Academy, like the house itself, is an amazing. I think it's an amazing, and it's real. It is kind of like it is a character in itself.
Yes.
So it is so dark. So you know that this is not a home straight off the mat. Everyone's like, we're gonna go home. As soon as you walk in there, it's cold. It's very clinical. Like it's like a boarding school sort of thing. Like there's no real love in this at all.
Sterile.
This is literally this. Yes, especially like in certain aspects, like in certain scenes you see the dining room, but they don't use a dining room. They're in the kitchen all the time. The only bit of color that's really in this house comes from Mom.
Yeah,
and it's purely because of how she's designed. She's
and
the
even
only
with
color
Mom,
that you will see in
her
that.
area is full of color.
Yes.
Mom's area is so full of life with the paintings because
she's all the paintings. The room is red. Where the actual room where she's in is red. It's not dark. It's not kind of nearing black. And it's the only bit of color that it's like the only life that they actually had in this house was from her, and she wasn't even life.
Yeah.
Now I will debate that, because in their own personal sanctums, in their rooms, they had themselves in there. They had their own things in there.
Like,
you had Alison had this beautiful parrot picture above her bed, and
her room, her room is yellow actually as well. So hers is sunny, and it kind of like I think it's like with them themselves. They do bring their own kind of.
It's kind of their aspirations of what they want in life, which is interesting because Luther's room is very grey tones, and he gets shipped to the moon.
Yeah,
Boy Scout.
Yeah, like he's like that's the thing is that like he was literally. I think he bought into it a lot more, I think, than the rest of them do.
Well, it's because he was given the number one position. So
yes, so it's like
power.
I am number one, and like it's very I'm trying to. I can't think what the character is, but it's literally like I am a soldier. I am the good soldier. I am going to do what I'm told, and I
Like
will
Captain
not
America.
question. Thank you. Yes, Captain America. I won't question what I'm being told to do.
Yeah.
Like, I found that with
Was
Luther,
Diego?
Luther is actually fantastic though, especially during the course of the second series, in regards to his personality, because he's gotten a bit more like snappy and just like a bit sassy.
I don't
Yeah.
know. Luther's an asshole.
Oh yeah,
Well,
but I
oh
found
yeah,
that actually
definitely.
like hilarious, like compared to the first series.
He's an asshole, but he doesn't realize he's an asshole.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Because he thinks he's okay. Like he thinks he thinks he's doing I'm doing it for the good of everyone,
Right.
without realizing, without actually kind of really thinking about it. Like, especially like when it's in series 2, when like he finds out where Allison lives, and
Yeah.
it's just okay. Finally, okay, I'm gonna go. There's no real. She might have a life.
Yeah.
She might be doing
yeah.
something
There's
else.
no other thought.
Instead, it's like she's gonna be so happy to see me. He's a real me, myself, I.
Yeah.
But it doesn't register with him that he's a me, myself, I.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Like
I
the
did. I
thing
found him enjoyable in regards to like his interactions with Five, especially at the start of the
Yes.
series, because it's just like I don't give a shit, or like he smashes the wall, like the hole through the wall, and he's just looking out. It's like, nah, I'm not doing that. Go
As
away.
well, though, like at the end of the series, when it is him and Five, and it's him and Five and Five. Like those, like when it's the three of them,
Yeah.
he has got good comic timing with
Yes.
his lines and stuff on it. Like
especially
that works.
when they keep kicking him in the juice.
Yes, that's so
That
funny.
was
And it's
nasty.
just-
Like I actually felt that when that kick happened, and
So perfect.
the fact that fight is going on during that whole like him reacting to that kick is just like brilliant. Like just to see them like jump around them and they're fighting each other.
It's so
landing
good.
shots.
Just like,
Yeah.
It's so good.
It
the
is,
lead up
it's
to it.
really, really good.
The lead up to that fight is brilliant. Just the whole like them two are both getting paranoid of each other, and they're trying to plot.
Good.
And Luther's just like the middleman that's like,
Luther's like, everything's fine. Everything's okay. We're just going to do the job and no one's going to attempt to kill anybody and it's going to be fine.
like so
I'm
much
not
so that they
doing
just like
anything.
stop. It's like, do you want it or will I? It's like, no, go ahead. Kick.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
oh no.
I think though the fact that the end of that was just like calling his bluff was a very like, oh Luther, I didn't expect that of you, because it was Luther up to that point had been so straight laced and I'm just gonna say what I'm gonna do. I'm either gonna do something or I'm not gonna do it. There are no in betweens. So when he said he was gonna go with older Five, you're like, the fuck, Luther? And then it was like, yeet. Yeah.
I think the good thing is with this as the actual series, something that shows don't really do. There's actual character development in this.
Yeah.
Because it's a nice thing to actually watch, because you do like to see the character develop. Now obviously, okay, so in the 60s wise, there's different issues that each of the characters are going to be dealing with. So Allison gets really thrown into it. So for her entire story arc in this, you're kind of like, holy shit, like it's a massive deal for
her storyline
her.
is very topical, and especially given like the current climate.
Well, yes, and I think that's why it's so important.
Yeah.
Because it's throwing out that this is not something new. This has been going on for so long.
Yeah.
This is still going on.
This is still an issue. Like, can you see how ridiculous yous are?
Yeah.
Like, that this is still a fucking issue, like in 2020.
Like, she addresses it multiple times, saying that, like, look, what you're doing is still happening. Like,
she's like, But it's an amazing thing as well, is to be like,
fight is
oh,
still going.
it's like, you will make a difference, but it's still,
The fight is still going.
still,
Still ongoing.
it's an ongoing fight. Like, he goes, you haven't fixed it.
Yeah.
Like, it's a sad moment in it, because you can kind of tell that the character herself is kind of thinking, you haven't fixed it, and we probably won't fix it.
And
it's
in the same breath, they also do that with homosexuality with Sissy and Vanya, except for there is a resolve in that, because Vanya is like, if you come with us, you can be yourself. So it's addressing that this is something that has been resolved. The world is getting better. We just still need to work on some things.
Yeah, it's just like, it's gotten better. It's not, but it's like, it's still broken, but it's been worked on, sort of thing. The thing that annoyed me so much about Sis is the fact that she left a note for the husband. I'm like, you stupid bitch.
I know.
It pissed me off so much. I'm like, Vanya, no, you should have gone with her. You should have gone with her and been like, no, you stupid arsehole. No, don't leave a fucking note. Especially when your brother-in-law is the fucking cop. Why would you, like, you fucking idiot?
Yeah.
Like, that annoys me so much, and I think that's a trope that, like, every show does. They do that. There's that woman, that not Sis, but like, that character is, no matter how many fucking shows you watch, you will always find that one female character.
No matter how bad they're treated, they still fucking like.
I left it out. Or it's like, I just told him like that we were going to such and such. I'm like, you're the fucking reason this plan is going to fail, you piece of shit.
You know, as a writer myself,
you better not be fucking doing this.
That trope really annoys me, to the point that one of my characters in my novel, throwing at my novel series here,
Plug yourself.
One of my characters in my novel series,
sounds like a sex act,
I'm telling you, is aware. Oh no, we broke Niall again. Oh no!
I love that he went to take a sip of his drink as well, so I just got him right there.
Right. But
you should have held off for a second.
The whole issue with this character of mine, Crystal.
That's what he said.
Is she's useless, right?
Crystal is useless.
Crystal is useless. Her powers aren't great. She doesn't know how to use them, things like that. But it frustrates her. And she gets really annoyed about it. She doesn't want to be that trope.
Yeah.
And she tries to do everything she can do to be useful to everyone. And it's so frustrating for her. So she is us looking at those really weak-ass female characters that just cause problems for people and never learn.
Fucking the Daphne effect.
Yeah.
It's like Daphne and Scooby-Doo does nothing but get caught. She is literally just there to be bait. That's
right?
it.
And this happens to Crystal in the books. She gets caught. She gets in these situations, but instead of being like, oh no, I've been caught and I'm in this situation, she's like, oh,
she's like,
fuck's sake.
Not that fucking again. Like, damn it, Crystal. Get your shit together.
So she gets angry at herself. So that was my spin on it. She is getting angry at herself, whereas Sissy's reaction was, actually, I'd left a note.
You can tell, but it makes me bad. You see Vanya been like, I should have fucking killed your ass when I had the chance. You fucking did. You fucking piece of shit. Yeah. I was like, I should have just taken the kid and ran. Yeah, that's what I should have done.
Sorry, Harlan, you're my child now.
Yeah, I was like, hey, we're going to teach you some new special powers, my friend. Come on, I'll show you my brother. You can speak to the dead.
Like, as you talked about, like, the fact that with Vanya and Sissy, you also had something similar with, like, Klaus and Dave.
Right.
Yeah.
But it having the opposite effect.
I really wanted to talk about this, okay? Right. So in season 1, when Klaus opens so when he's on the bus and he's flirting with the woman in front of him, which is just beautiful. I'm just I love him so much. And he opens the case hoping and praying. He's like, I can pawn this and and he's gone.
Have me some money.
And as soon as he comes back and he has, like, you see what he's wearing. I think it's like you're looking at what he's wearing and you're kind of like, where the fuck is he? And then you see the tattoo and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And then obviously he goes to the bar and you can see, so straight away, like he's like, not only is he dealing with PTSD from like his year of like in Vietnam during the Vietnam War, and he's also like, he's dealing with PTSD, but he's also literally lost probably the only second person he's ever loved in his entire life.
Yeah.
So his entire struggle of, okay, I can fix this. And when like his whole point is trying to fix this, and then like not even being able to tell his family kind of like where he's at. Like he's not, like, this thing is, Claus is not like, he's not really a closed book with them, but he's also not an open book either.
Yeah.
Like he's very open.
The only one
like
who actually gets him is Diego.
Yes. Diego understands where he's coming from.
Yeah.
But I think that with Ben as well, so Ben has been the constant fixture in his life, because Ben is with him, and what makes it even worse is like Claus thinks he's at fault for that. So he's holding a bit of guilt because he thinks Ben is still there because he forced Ben to stay.
Yeah.
But a lovely thing about it is Claus gets Vanya as well.
Yes.
He's quite close with Vanya, and he's very close with Alison. The scene of them when they're in the salon in the second season, and they're having their dance together, and they're all getting drunk together. It's like, probably the best relationships that's actually in this are between the three of them, and they don't even realize it, because they think we're just complaining and we're just getting drunk, whereas they don't realize I'm actually being totally honest with these two, with my siblings, sort of thing, in a sense. But when
the other thing as well is Vanya, throughout season 1 and season 2, just wants a family. That's a running thing with her.
Is it like, it's at first you're thinking she just wants to be accepted, like I want to be accepted into this because I'm there. But then it's once I think it's family. Like when it's when I mean. No, what I mean is when it actually starts, when you watch, I think the very first episode, she just wants to be accepted as having something inside the family. But then as you get into it, you're like, no, she just wants a family. She wants something that she's never had, because she's never technically she's never been a part of it.
Exactly.
Like the scene, it's amazing though as well, because even when she's the scene where they're all in the dining area, and they lift the cloche, and it's the brain.
Yeah.
And they're like, literally, it's like everyone's eating the brain. When you look at it, the only character that's not like looking down at her is Ben.
Yeah.
He's the only one that's not. And the reason being for this is because Ben died before the rest of them got the complex sort of thing.
Yeah.
Right. So Ben died on a mission. So you can imagine what it's really, when you think about it, like, okay, so this isn't going to be a spoiler in a sense here as well, right? Because even when you get the comic, you still don't fucking know what happens. Okay, right? So this is an ongoing thing. So you are literally just going to be theorizing about this entire thing. When you watch them when they're on their missions in the first series, and they're it's like the very start of it, and they're oh my god, they're dealing with the bank robbery, and you see Ben is with them. So Ben is with them at this point, and they're like, okay, horror, you go do your thing. He's like, what do I have to?
Yeah, he doesn't.
Straight away, you're like thinking, it's like, Ben doesn't want to be doing this.
Yeah.
Straight off the mat. So you can imagine then when you watch the scene with Vanya, and she's remembering, she's having this like little moment of, well, Alison looked down on me, and Claus kind of made fun of me, and Luther looked down on me, and Diego kind of was very standoffish with me, but Ben wasn't. I think Ben would have been, if you're kind of looking at it this way, Ben would have been more the one to be like, I want to be you, and I wish I could give you my spot.
Yeah.
That seems to be, is like, Ben seems to be, he didn't want to actually do what he was brought up and trained to do.
Yeah.
But he would be considered the normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other hints around it, that she just wanted to have some kind of relationship with them, like even to the little things of she was leaving out peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for 5, waiting for him to come home. and she tried to establish friendships by going in. That scene when she's walking through the hallways, that's her remembering trying to go in and interact with her siblings.
Yeah, and it
and
just
then
wasn't
being all
happening.
like, "Go away, Vanya."
Yeah, like it is like a kind of a sad thing, and it is also another kind of fucking character trope that gets thrown around. There is always the one sibling that's kind of no one wants you around, and then you realize that they're the fucking the savior that everyone needs, and at the end, and you kind of have to do the turnaround to it. Like, I mean, we're never going to be able to get rid of that one, and on occasion it does work, I guess. So, but in this case, at least, oh shit, we need to get her back on our side, otherwise she's going to kill us all.
Yeah.
And it's like, you think at that point, right, they've learned a lesson here, but then straight away into the second series, like, it's kind of like Luther's like, you fucking tried to kill Alison. It's like, well, technically she didn't. That's something that that's something that was out of her control.
Listen to
exactly.
Alison.
He wouldn't listen to anyone. Like, see, like, oh my god, Luther, fuck off. Like, at this point, you need to take your white knight ass and just get the hell away from me. Like
even when Alison had wrote down on that piece of paper saying Vanya accident.
Yeah,
literally,
he's like,
she was like, it was an accident, and he's like, no, she tried to kill you.
Yeah.
And
it's like, bitch, I was there. Like, sorry, I'm forgetting. Were you there? Did you see it? I was. Like, fuck you.
He didn't learn from that.
No,
he literally, straight off the bat, brought a gun to the farm to kill Vanya. The only reason he didn't do it was because
she had no
memory.
memory. Yeah, and that is because, like, she really didn't actually have any memory of what was going on. So I think he kind of saw. It's another thing as well, and goes, right, I don't have to kill her, but we also don't have to deal with her because she can't remember anything. So we can just leave her now and forget about her. That's like, I think he was kind of like, Grant, she's no longer an issue. We no longer have to deal with this anymore. Like, Luther's a shitbag, actually, now when you really kind of bow down to it.
Luther is not a nice character.
I think I do want to go back to our Lord and Savior, our cult leader, that is Klaus.
Oh, Klaus!
Right?
Destiny's Child.
Hello,
Destiny's Children.
Let's commune with music.
This is my favorite thing. My favorite thing about this is, he's like, right, well, the world's gonna end in fucking 2019. I may as well warn everybody, but like, don't go chasing waterfalls. Stick to the lakes and the rivers you're used to. And you're kind of like, oh my god, what the fuck are you doing? But it's amazing. Like, I love how he just manages to do it. But like, my favorite thing as well is when Ben is like, you need to tell them the truth.
Yeah.
Ben gets in on it, because when they were like, do you have any last words of wisdom for us? And it's like, oh my god, we're back again. Brothers, sisters, everybody
sing. He doesn't know what to do. It's brilliant. Like, what's amazing
is just like, what would Klaus do? Quote a song.
He's like, shit. It's like, oh crap, I have to be Klaus here.
That scene with Ben when he's trying to talk to the girl.
They're just messing it. They're just like rolling around in the dirt.
Wonderful. And just like, she's asking him, do you want to do it? I was like, I'm a virgin. I was like,
what
about last week? Like, on the sex swing. It's like, you can see on his face.
Yeah, oh, Klaus, you are so filthy, and it's like, yeah.
It is like he is. It's honestly, guys, he's such a great character, and it is a great, like, the fact that he's like, well, look, I know what's gonna happen. Okay, I'm just gonna have some fun. But you can see he's also like, he doesn't like it either.
Yeah.
He's like, this isn't what I wanted. And realistic, then when you actually look at it, the entire thing he was doing in the 60s, even though he managed to start a fucking cult, all he was looking for was to find Dave.
Yeah.
That's all he wanted. He just wanted to find Dave to stop Dave from enlisting, which is a really nice, lovely gesture that he has on this.
Yeah.
However, he does change it slightly. So Dave was meant to enlist after Kennedy was assassinated, right?
Yes.
That's right. Which obviously the butterfly effect and this and here, so it's like everything is going to happen the way it was. Dave then enlisted early. So there's actually a chance that while Claus didn't stop him from going to Vietnam, he might have actually prevented his death still.
Yes.
Possibly.
Because he told him the area
That he
and
was
the
going,
day he was
and
going
the day
to die.
he was going to die.
Mm.
And then also as well, so if Ben joins, or not Ben, Jesus Christ, if Dave has joined earlier, then he's going to be in a different regiment altogether.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it means he's probably
He might
not
die.
even going to end up. He's probably never going to be in that area anyway.
Yeah.
So
potentially he's
while
survived.
Claus, exactly. So while Claus it hasn't worked out the way Claus had hoped it would, but he may have actually prevented it, and I really hope he does. Like, I know, I just want him to be happy. I actually just want him to be happy on this, because he can imagine, like, if I feel so bad for him.
Like, the timeline is fucked anyway. So little victories like that is kind of welcome at this point. It's just like, come on, give them something. Like, just something.
Yeah, it's like you want to see that you actually, like, as much as they do just fuck everything up, like just completely fuck everything up. You're kind of like, I really hope that they do get these little wins.
Yeah.
Also,
that, to me,
speaking of Klaus, just to bring this in, spoiler alert, actual spoiler alert, there was a really nice nod in the scene, in the cult scene, where they had Ben holding him up, which was a reference to the fact that Klaus in the books can levitate.
Yes.
Which I'm wondering if they're going to bring into season 3.
Okay, I think I'm curious as to what, like, there is some other stuff in the books that Klaus has done. Mm-hmm. And in season 2, at the very start of the episode in season 2, I can't remember, I might have said this to the lads already before, but still. In the start of season 2, in the first episode, when they're all together and they're actually fighting the Russians,
yes,
because they prevented Kennedy from being assassinated originally, you can actually see Claus is clearly clean.
Yeah,
he's got his beautiful, beautiful hair just flowing. He's in his sexy leathers.
Absolutely. I mean, we're not thirsty at all. What are you talking about?
What the hell was I talking about?
Keep the first to a minimum.
Oh my god, I'm actually after losing my train of thought. What the hell is it?
Sexy Klaus.
Yes.
Levitating.
No. Yes, sorry. Oh my god, my actual mind just went to, like,
the first is real.
It really fucking is.
Bottle of water, yo.
Oh my god, I think I just drooled. Look, I'm looking at the flag now as well. That's what made. I was like, oh shit. Oh no.
And
when at the start of the second, yes, when they're fighting the Russians, you actually see what Klaus is capable of, and it's the only time you see it. So when he's sober, and he's finally able to, like, right, I can do this.
When he's driven,
and when he has the drive and he has the focus for it, he is able to actually bring these ghosts, and he's able to use that and manifest them and push them forward. We
actually see that as well, because when he is in the poker game, he manifests Ben for a few seconds.
Yeah.
And then Ben is like, no, I'm good.
Bearing in mind, though, this was in the 60s when he does that.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas when he's proper doing it, it's 2019 timeline. So there is thing when he does it. But the brilliant thing about it is when you actually look at the soldiers that he brings back, they're Vietnam soldiers.
Yeah.
Which I think is, I thought it was such a good little niche
throwback
into it.
To the Force, like,
because
series.
Because again, like, spoilers, it is something that happens in the comics.
Yeah.
So it is like.
But it's also showing that the spiritual world that Klaus is connected to is not constrained by timelines.
Exactly. So it is, in a sense, he's like, right, this timeline is 2019, but he is able to bring back these soldiers from this war, which is another excellent thing about it, was he would have known who these people were.
Yeah.
Which is another thing as well. So when he's like, in series 1, when Hazel and Cha-Cha have him tied up in the room, which is
Yeah.
excellent. And he's like,
So
just,
fucking
oh,
funny.
it's so
such a
good.
scene.
But like all the ghosts from Cha-Cha and Hazel's past are around, and Ben is like, talk to them, find out what they want,
Yes.
just talk to them. What, like, and then this is what you need to do. Okay, he's like, you need to get sober, because
Mm-hmm.
when you're sober, you will be able to figure this out. And I think that was another reason, kind of like a great reason as for having Ben there with him, is because Ben is in between that world,
Yeah.
and he's probably in a sense, he goes, okay, well, if I'm able to talk to you like this and you're not scared, why are you getting scared with everybody else? It's because you haven't just introduced yourself, in a sense. Is like, if you start to talk to them, you will not be scared of them. Like, it's not
Yeah.
reason to be scared. But it's also, as well, it's really touching at the very end of the second season when he tells Vanya,
It
tell
wasn't
Klaus
his
it
fault.
wasn't his fault.
Yeah.
So Ben's death, I've gone back to that one because I don't think I finished that point, but I think Ben's death was literally the start of everyone's downfall. Now, again, they're already flawed enough as it is, but when you really put down to it, they were kids anyway. Like, kids are flawed until they've really established who they are as a human being. So
Yeah.
this was the moment where Reginald really kind of went, these are all fuck-ups. And because of you, Ben is dead. These are all fuck-ups. You're only ever going to be fuck-ups. I'm done. That was literally, and that's, you can tell that this was the moment that it just clicked for everyone. And at that point, I'd say it must have been something to do with Claus, I think, that got Ben killed.
It would explain why he felt a little bit of blame and
It's
wanted
also
to
for
bring him
wanting
back.
yes, and for wanting to keep him around
Yeah.
as well, because it is a sense of like, no, the light will always be there. Yeah, I know these things. It's fine. It will always be there.
Yeah.
You can go
I'm the
whenever you
expert
want.
on the dead. so-
Exactly. It's like, I know these things. You can go whenever you want.
Yeah.
When realistically, he hasn't got a fucking clue. But he
No.
needs Ben. He needs Ben to stay there because
Yeah.
they need Ben to be around. And I think at that point, you're kind of like, he's
It-
already drinking at that point as well.
It'd be
Yeah.
fair to say that like Ben is like the emotional compass for Klaus, which
Yes.
therefore like rubs off on other characters along the way with his interactions.
But there's also another aspect to Klaus that you have to bear in mind. He is a masochist. He likes being hurt.
Mm.
You see this over and over again, and it's being conditioned into him. He was thrown into a crypt. He was told being hurt is good, basically, is what he was brought up
Yeah.
to know.
You just want to give him a cuddle and just tell him everything's all right, and then you just want to whip him because you know it's
Right,
gonna.
because you know he'll like it.
Oh yeah.
But there was so many hints to the fact that he just enjoys pain. Like, even when he
Drilling
was being
again.
tortured by
He's like, oh, thank you, sir. May I have another? Like, he's just short. Like it's
the
honest.
waterboarding scene was like, oh, thank you, I needed
thank you. I
that.
needed that water. I was like, I haven't had a drink in like 3
And
days.
you can tell from Hazel and Cha-Cha, they're just
They're
like,
like,
oh, for fuck's sake.
It's a real like, what the fuck is wrong with this man? Like, oh my god, he's like, I punched a hole in him, and he's like, give me more. Like, he's just short of just saying, spank me, daddy. Like, that's he's like, and that's it. Honest to God, I'm actually surprised that they didn't just throw it in just for the fuck of it, because it is something, but it is something the character would say.
But
as
that,
well.
you see, is also part of how he was conditioned and how he was raised. So I think, again, if he caused or was a contributing factor to the fact that Ben died, him bringing Ben back wasn't just Ben had to be there. It was also because he wanted to be constantly reminded of that pain.
Yeah, that's Oh God, oh, he's such a trouble soul. Oh, you just want to wrap him up in a hug, don't you? Oh,
You do.
maybe get him some heroin, just to kind of keep him steady.
Although, how cute was it? Like, of a moment when Diego realized that it was Ben inside Klaus' body.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Like,
it's
you
like,
could see it. It was just like a genuine, just like, it's really you.
I've missed you. I've missed you. And it's it again. That's why I think that I think that's why I do believe that Ben's death was the downfall for everyone. So it's like, it's a real thing. Is like and it's another thing as well, because they know, like, they know that Ben is with Claus as well, because they ask him, is Ben with you? And he's like, no, he goes can't time travel, like, sort of thing. And Ben's like, you fucking prick, you fucking prick, like, sort of kind of thing on this one. Because if Claus is saying to them, no, he's not here, he's kind of more or less saying, when I act like a dick, it's because my compass isn't with me. So when I go off the hands, they can't they can't place the blame. It's kind of like a protected thing though as well. It's like, because like, oh no, Ben's not here, so I can go off the rails, and you just can't get mad at Ben for not keeping me in line.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. Because they asked, but it's such a lovely fucking moment, and like his reaction to the realization is just so cute. You're just like, oh,
and I'm not gonna lie, because like the moment for Ben, like saving Vanya, and him, the way he's like, can you hug me
as I go? It's just.
But actually, do you know the death scene of Ben? I don't think that's him dying. I think that's the timeline changing, and
because he's not dead.
Because he's not dead. So I think that's his ghost is disappearing because he's still alive.
Could be. It could be.
It is one of those things. It's when he's just like, I miss you. Like it's like, oh, you just like, oh, some of them you really just want to kind of like just give them all a cuddle and just be like, it's gonna be okay. Like, it's not like, okay, not for you, because like shit's gonna happen to you, you little monkey boy. Also, that's actually a question I have on this one, right? So when they go back to the new timeline, which technically should wipe out everything that had happened with them, should Luther not have a normal body?
Well, you see, that's the thing, because it is the other timeline Luther. He's now replacing that current timeline Luther. So, yeah. Okay, the body won't change.
Okay, I know what. Okay, I know now what your theory is on this. So are you under the impression that there is going to be two Luthers, two Vanyas?
No.
Okay.
So basically, my impression is, because they came back. Sorry, we're going to get a bit dark here. Because they came back to the timeline.
Hi guys, welcome to my crib.
My dog needed to go out. Yeah, this is puppy life. Because they came back to the timeline, the current them that would have been there are now gone. They've they've vanished like Ben.
Yes, I get you. Okay, yes, sorry. Yes, now I know exactly what you mean. Okay. Perfect.
So I do have a feeling that you're going to have someone appearing and being like, Alison, how do you not know it's me? We've been friends for years. And she'll be like, I don't have a fucking clue who you are.
There's another thing actually as well. If in this new timeline, what's happened to Alison's daughter? What happened to Claire?
Yeah, it won't be Claire. Claire's not going to be there, and she's going to realise that.
Yeah, because
we won't know until like the new season.
2021, 22.
Yeah.
It's this is what frustrates me. This frustrates me so much.
Which is unfortunately, there's a lot of it raises a lot of questions, but at the same time, it makes you excited for the next series, and therefore makes you want to actually come back and watch it, because you want to continue this journey with these characters.
But that's the best thing about Umbrella Academy, is, again, coming back to the culpability. There's a lot of culpability issues, taking responsibility for your actions and the outcomes of your actions. Now they have to realize that their actions have changed everything. Absolutely everything. And in season 2, there isn't even an Umbrella Academy to go back to because of their actions.
Another thing, actually, as well, Reginald is waiting for them.
Yeah. That's the thing, is Reginald knows they're coming back because they told Reginald what happened.
But this is like the best, like also as well, you're kind of thinking, do you think like he, like realistically, in a technicality, he's not their father anymore, and yet he still can't resist getting that last fuck you in.
Actually, now this is coming back to my theory of it. So, if Reginald had found them as they are, who they are right there and then, and did everything differently, when they came back in time, or came back to the future, when they came back to the future, their personalities would have erased all of his work that he would have done to try and change them. So instead of having that erased and wasting all of his time, practicality-wise, is focus on different children. And then when they come back to the future, now instead of just having 7 kids with superpowers, he
has
now
more.
He has
13,
15.
12, 15, 12, whatever.
Wait, I can't count.
Yeah, no, there's 6
7
of them
and 6.
plus 6, so that's 13. So he now has 13 superpowers
Out of the 43.
out of the 43. And we also know Lila is out there. He doesn't know about Lila. He hasn't met Lila yet. But now we know of potentially 14 of the 43.
And one that was created by Vanya.
Yep. Harlan.
Yes, but that wouldn't have been one of the original 43.
No, but
No.
he could, bearing in mind, he could be in this timeline.
He could play a
but he'd
factor
be-
in how they're
he'd be an
He
created.
is in the
adult.
timeline. He is more than likely the reason for Sparrow Academy because he's playing with a Sparrow toy.
Sparrow, yeah.
But he at that time would be he'd be like in his nearly in his 50s then.
So,
he'd be in his
yeah.
50s.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because they're in the
Yeah.
60s, he's 10,
60s.
so he'd be even older than that.
Yeah.
So
But
he'd
it's
be
70
an
odd.
alpha. But
Yeah,
he
but
would
like,
have been searched for by Reginald, who would have then helped him to develop, who then in turn would have been able to help to develop the other kids.
because you have to kind of take into consideration as well. So Diego told Grace everything that was going on,
Yeah.
right? So that would mean then that chances are Grace would not be in season 3 because Reginald might have gotten rid of her straight away. Or she might have left him, in a sense, even when she found out that he might have actually had something to do with the Kennedy assassination, because we don't know.
No.
We don't see what happens, right? So if you were to say, let's say imagine that she left him, that means she would have taken Pogo with her, which, baby Pogo is the fucking cutest thing I've ever seen. That would be a reason why Harlan could be in it. He could take that spot.
He could,
So,
but the thing
Reginald
of it is,
Reginald could have found him first.
Could have, but Grace was an android that was built by Reginald based off Grace.
Yeah,
So,
but like he might not have any need for her anymore with the new ones.
With the new ones, yeah, because he built Grace for Vanya.
Yeah, because she kept killing all the nannies.
Yeah,
so like
he
doesn't need her now.
Yeah.
So I'm actually kind of sad now she won't be in it because I did like her. I did actually like her. I thought it was so she was so cute, like just the real 1950s mom.
Yeah. But seeing her with that accent as well.
Holy shit! You're like,
what's going on?
You're like, what the fuck are you? Like, no, you're not mom. Stop it,
Mom. But I love you anyway.
Oh, but like when Diego, like when Diego like sees her as well, and even in the first series when he killed her himself. And you're just
that was so harrowing.
Oh,
so harrowing. But you know what? We've been on major rants now for the last little while. Let's go back to Foxy and be like, is there anything else you want to talk about?
Oh shit, yeah, sorry, I forgot this was your thing, Foxy.
I've just been sitting back and actually like just listening. So it's part of the fun. No, because like I see where you're going with. Like I'm still interested to see what happens with Pogo. Because all we only see him get like taken away from in the fight with Diego, like where Reginald, he's in the fight and he stabs Diego, but like Pogo goes with him, but you never see him after that. So it'd be interesting to see what way he changes.
Yeah,
going forward.
again,
Like, I think Pogo is
baby
still going to
Pogo
be there because
we all
Pogo
just
is,
agree.
yeah.
Can we all just like take a moment to agree that baby Pogo, when he's in a little spaceship
Yeah,
and
he's
with
a
the
little cutie.
cheese, he's so fucking.
And when he gets scared, you're just like, oh no,
Oh,
baby.
you're just like, someone hide the monkey.
Welcome to a podcast with girls. Oh no, baby, oh no.
Oh, look at your boy, baby. Oh, just give him a banana. Give him the fucking banana. Yeah, no, I am very curious as to how, because like, bearing in mind, like he still would have gone to space anyway.
Yes.
They still would have given him this. He still would have had to take the serum.
Yeah.
Anyway, because this already would have kind of happened, kind of in a sense. So I am interested to see if he is around. That's what I want to see. Or did Grace take him with her? Like that's.
Yeah, I don't think Hargreaves would have let Grace take him.
I think he would have.
I don't know, because
I don't know.
Pogo is one of his experiments.
No, I think
Pogo could be the tie that brings them together, though.
Could be.
I think there's something a bit more sinister behind it. I think he would have let her take him, but she wouldn't have had him for long, if you get me.
The other side of it as well is Reginald really does actually love Grace.
Yes.
And you can see that. His first wife, who dies, also has a very Grace vibe about her. The one we see in the bed who's like, you have to go on without me.
Yeah.
Has a very Grace vibe, very Grace look about her, you know, very self-sacrificing. And I think
he
Mom
has a type.
Yeah, but I think Mom was actually a hybrid of the two.
Possibly, yeah.
I don't think Mom was Grace. She was Grace.
I think it's like looks-wise. I think looks-wise she was, but personality and so everything else was the other one.
Yeah.
This is actually going to be the last kind of one that I have on it as well, just because I'm noticing the time. I'm really fucking tired. The fact that Luther was sent to the moon, right? And all the stuff that was sent back and everything, and he never looked at it, and it was found under the floorboards and stuff. There's the little comment that's made in season 2. Oh, well, don't worry, we know what you're looking with the dark side of the moon. Yeah. So Luther might not have been up there for, like, it does sound like Luther's been up there for a reason.
Yeah.
It's just Reginald
to protect
just doesn't
his interests.
That thing is, we need to protect your interests in the dark side of the moon. So it's kind of like, and plus he had a base up there.
Yeah.
So to be able to send Luther to this fucking thing, a base that was set up for him. So I am curious to see as to where they're going to go with that one, because that was kind of Luther's turning point. Is like, oh my god, he literally doesn't have anything for me. He just doesn't want me around, sort of thing. And then later on, you're going to find out, well, actually, there's a fucking threat coming from the Atlantic. Poseidon and the Kraken are on their way, and I wanted you to keep an eye out for it, and you fucked up, you arsehole.
Right.
But yeah.
But no, like, I mean, him not looking at the reports from Luther are probably because they're things that he's seen already himself.
Yeah, he already knows. He's like, I don't need this. And he goes, because it's one of those things, like, he's sending me the samples. These aren't what I need. But obviously what's happened hasn't happened yet. Yeah. And it is one of those things where Pogo is the one that gets these. So Pogo will know. Yeah. This is the one that you've been waiting for. He does. Now this thing has annoyed me. I can't remember if it was in the comics or if it's in the TV show. So this is a possible spoiler. It is a possible spoiler, but there is a great line that Reginald has when he's like, you kept, like, someone, I can't remember which character it is that says it to him. He goes, you just kept them underneath the under the floorboards, and Reginald literally just turned around and says, yeah, I probably should have burnt them. Yes, that was
a mistake. I should have
burnt them. I should have burnt them.
That's what you take from this? That was in the show.
It was it? Okay, I couldn't remember it was the show or the comic. I just thought that was excellent.
Yeah, that was Klaus being all like,
that's what it was. It was Klaus.
Excuse me?
That's when he's getting when Klaus dies. That's what it is. He's getting the shave. I just thought that was excellent, because it just goes to show how fucking pun intended, like how alien like he actually is.
Yeah.
To like when you find out that he is the alien in the show, an awful lot of stuff clicks with you. It's like, okay, this is why he's not like a paternal character to these people, because he doesn't have that in him. He's not human. Like
it's all logic.
Exactly. Everything with him has to be logical. And he says, it reminds me of Tom Hanks in fucking A League of Their Own. It's like, there's no crying in baseball. Like, there's no emotion in saving the world. You have a job. I'm training you to do a job. You will fucking do it. And that's all like his kind of view on it is. And it's just, I just think it's brilliant in a sense. It's like, it makes sense when you figure it out and you're like, okay, it does actually make a bit of sense as to why he is the way he is with them. It's not because he's a shitty father. It's because he literally does not understand human emotions.
He is completely inept when it comes
to... Like, he can create these amazing serums and he can save X, Y, and Z, but he does not know what it takes. He can't fake. You can't fake human emotion like that.
No, you can't.
And
but here's the thing that I'm going to throw in here, which is going to have you go, oh shit, didn't even think of that. Is Reginald from a different planet, or is he from Earth in the future?
Oh shit. I did not think of that.
Because
makes you think.
We know he has experience with time travel, and we know he has jumped through time, because his area that he's come from is, you know, way technologically advanced, and then he's gone back to steamboats and engines, right? His wife is human, and she says to him, I can't go with you. And the technology and everything that's happening there is so surreal, but still looks like it's on Earth. So I think they have knowledge of timelines, and he was sent back to prevent the apocalypse that would destroy his timeline. That's my theory.
It would explain his long-term like plan of like training these kids, but also like trying to get as many of them as possible, but having a wealth of knowledge, technology, and just the resources.
But also, I think he created the kids.
Yes, I'd say he definitely had a hand in it.
Yeah.
But how, we don't know yet. And
but it sounds like he's just clicking his fingers.
Yeah.
It's like how I feel when I watch certain wrestlers. I was like, oh, instantly pregnant. Like, that's, like, maybe that's what it is. I know, yeah. Ovaries go boom.
Oh no, Stephen Momoa's come on screen. Oh, I'm pregnant.
That's honestly, I'd like be watching something and all of a sudden it's like, oh my god, instant sploosh, pregnant.
Oh no.
I have so many like illegitimate children running around the place.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like, what are we doing with all these kids that we're just instantly getting pregnant from people from?
I know, it's like literally just like one wink and I'm like, oh my god, how did you do that, sir?
Pull my pants down, she was pregnant. There you go.
Damn.
Like literally, that's like one of those things is like, I think it's like the Chuck Norris joke, and it's like Chuck Norris just needs to go like that to you and you're pregnant.
Well, he is partial to the finger bang, but like, yeah.
Oh,
you're welcome.
Thank you.
It's about time you got one in on us.
I didn't even feel it. It just happened so quickly. It's like, damn, that was it, and it's over.
Faster than a speeding bullet.
I love that in fucking Justice League. It's one of the comics. It's like, you're the fastest man. That's your fastest man in the world. You probably shouldn't brag about that, Flash, to be honest with you. And he's just like, he's like, okay.
Yeah. But in conclusion,
let's wrap this up.
My conclusion on Umbrella Academy is it's an excellent time travel show. They have pulled it off so neatly, yet left it with so many possibilities. It's excellent. If you haven't watched it and you've watched this podcast, sorry for spoiling on you guys.
to be honest with you, even if you do feel it's been spoiled, I still highly recommend going back and watching it. Just watch it. It's excellent.
So, Ames, what's your take on it? Other
My
than
take-
splooshing all over the place.
Sploosh, there it is. Sploosh, there it is. It's kind of like on the same thing with you, whereas it's like it's an excellent sci-fi series that is masked as a superhero series, and it's really good because it's like I'm not into sci-fi at all.
Mhm.
I don't like sci-fi. It's not really in my repertoire. I fucking love this show, and it's with the time travel, and there is an awful lot of sci-fi kind of-ness in it. And it's brilliant. It's perfect, and it's one of these things. Where it's like I watched the show first, then I got the source material, and it's just made me love it even more. To the extent where I've pre-ordered my next deluxe edition, which is going to be out in 47 days. Yay! And I honestly, I was like, I'm so happy that I'm going to be able to read the comic first and then watch the show, because from how it's already gone, I'm not going to be disappointed, and nothing's going to be spoiled on me either, which just makes it even better. It's so far, like, this is what I go back to saying, harken at the start. While it is, yes, an adaptation of a comic book, it still feels like you're getting twice as much.
Own universe.
Exactly, you're getting twice as much with the same characters, and it's just it answers like some questions that the TV show can't, and it also has like a few extra scenes. And I am going to discuss one of these extra scenes when we have stopped recording, because it just popped into my head and I thought it was brilliant.
So, yeah, like for me, I do agree. Like, it is a great. It's a sci-fi superhero, like masked as a superhero like show. It's I find that I'm drawn to it because of the characters being so flawed, but at the same time so relatable with like their personalities and their decisions and how that affects everyone. Like everything is intertwined in such a way that it keeps roundabout in itself. But very enjoyable series. I hope maybe I'll decide to actually like read the book, because the book does sound very interesting to actually read through.
I'd be able to give you a blend of the two that I have, because it has the behind the scenes stuff in it as well.
Hell
it's really cool to look at.
Hook you up, bro.
So
you're hooking me up with Pokemon, the two of you are. I'm gonna hook the shit out of you.
Oh hell yeah!
But like on that, like it's
nasty.
Well, I can be as nasty as you want, baby girl.
Oh hell yeah!
Oh.
See you next.
Foxy, do you just want to like just leave us alone for a few minutes?
So on that note, like I would like to thank my guests. First of all, Amy, for coming back on. It's nice to have you again. And thank you again to Lorraine, aka Crafty Like a Fox. You can find her on Facebook, Crafty Like a Fox. You can also find her on Instagram, Genesis
Go Boom.
And she sells all the nerdy stuff from Japan, like all the nerdy stuff. Like, just go check out her page. You'll see what I mean.
But I don't sell nerds. I'm not into human trafficking. Just so you know.
Not yet. Well, yeah.
Jesus, not yet.
Body pillows with actual bodies.
Ooh. But yes, on that note, like I've been your host, Foxy. This has been the Foxy Bros podcast, and please like, share, tell your friends, and let us know what you think. And if you want to see more from the two, my two guests, please go follow them on their social medias.
Yeah, totally do.
Social media,
post nothing.
Twits. I'm like Nightmare on the Web. I'm Nightmare on the Web on Instagram. I'm now Nightmare on the T on Twitter. Changed it because I wanted to keep them both the same. And you will actually be able to see more of me as well at on our YouTube page, Nerds Are Us.
Yes.
Where we will be hopefully back with the box set soon, and Weekend at Amy's along with my friend Foxy and Jonathan.
Yes.
And I'm probably going to do some special guests in on her YouTube because I'm too lazy to do my own.
Oh, hell yeah. I can actually get you on for the box set. No fucking issues. We discussed not comics, we discussed cartoon conspiracy theories.
Bro, in my life, I studied animation.
Excellent.
There we go. And on that note, we shall see you in the next one. Bye bye.
Bye.